Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another day of FCDB Qualifier action. My name as always is Hawker to guide you through the day, and to start things off we've got a very German based matchup, Seed going up against aTTaX. For some reason Seed have the EU flag, but they do of course have 3 German players on their team. We will be heading underway into train to start off the day here in Group B. Just going to quickly recap how both these teams have performed so far. On the aTTaX side of things, they've only played 1 game in this qualifier, but they did come out on top against Epsilon 16-9. That was just yesterday, and that was here on train, and aTTaX looked particularly good on their T side, managing to really press on that second half. And I think that's going to be sort of the trend for this game. I think aTTaX are a fairly consistent team, as Hunden kills himself in the warm-up, always good to see. But I think aTTaX are a fairly sort of consistent team now with Hunden coming in. They've been generally fairly good for the most part, whereas Seed have been a little bit up and down. And it seems like it's more on whether the Seed players show up or not. Talking about the Seed side of things, they are currently 2 wins, 1 loss so far in this group. They're yet to play Train so far in this qualifier, but they've played it a couple of other times. They played it at that Asus ROG LAN where they took some pretty big losses against Tricked and Gambit. However, recently they have got wins against Binary Dragons and Singularity. They have only played this map 4 times though. So I'm interested to see how Seed perform here and if they can show up individually. Knife round should be getting underway shortly. And as for predictions, I think it is fairly difficult to predict this Seed team. So far we've seen them on some days really have good showings and be able to come out on top. And then I think it was the first game they played up against Pride. They just didn't get anything going. Or maybe it was against Kingwin. They just didn't get anything going. I think they lost 16-4 in that first one. So it's fairly tough, I think, to know exactly where Seed will sort of land at. But we'll get to see if they are warmed up as we head underway for the knife round. As always, I'm sure you guys will enjoy reading the chat. I know a bit of German. We'll see if I can pick up on any of it. Looks like Hunden's fitting in well, and knife round not going to be all that important, I don't think, especially considering aTTaX did have a lot of success on their T side the last time they came out here on train. But they will take the win. They will start on the CT side of things. And I think this is probably the best start for aTTaX specifically, because I'm not sure how much Seed, again, have sort of developed that team play. I'm not sure who's really going to be that sort of strong leader type of personality. I think there are players on Seed that could sort of play the in-game leader role, if you like, but I don't think they have really particularly anyone that strikes out as a natural sort of born leader in the server. And that could be an issue, especially on the T side, so we'll have to see if that is the case. As finally, we will have both teams ready up. Just a casual 10-minute delay, but we will be heading live into the knife round. Buys coming through for both teams, of course. Hunden going for the kit alongside the smoke. In the meantime, on the Seed side of things, they've gone for 2 sets of nades, with Zane also picking up a P250. This is something we've seen rise in popularity recently, because that P250 can find one-shot headshots at fairly decent range against unhelmeted opponents. And of course, you can't buy the helmet in the pistol round, so we'll get to see if Zane can look for any entries with that, or what the idea of having the utility is. Gonna see Stefan go for some aggression early on in towards A main, and Dennis is by himself, and he's gonna lose his head. Really nice entry there by Stefan. Here comes the push down pop, but Innocent is all by himself. And so the aggression from aTTaX gets them a couple of opening kills. And now the Glocks are going to have to try and push their way forwards, but even with the utility being thrown out, they're not really finding those close range engagements. And this is just all going in favor of aTTaX. Just like that, the pistol round is won incredibly convincingly. And it seems like there that aTTaX just kind of took the map away from Seed. Seed were trying to line up that A take with a couple of smokes over the top. And aTTaX just kind of pushed on towards them and didn't really allow them to set up that execute. And as soon as those first 2 kills came in, the rest of Seed not really committing to the push enough. You saw them kind of walk in one by one. And so aTTaX take the pistol round with ease. So heading into the second round, Seed heavily grouped up around the B-bomb sites. Certainly wouldn't be surprised to see them just try and push quickly down towards B to at least get the bomb plants for a little bit of extra money, and that will indeed be the case. Here comes the push forwards, and Tzian does get blinded up. Does a little bit of damage, but not quite enough for the kill, and so the bomb will cross to the site and be planted. Here comes the flank, though. The UMP always going to get that kill. And so the 2 players left with the CZs on the site will not get too many kills, you wouldn't assume. But Innocent has found 1, going for a second, but he will go down. So Zane, the 1 man left, has snuck his way around here. They might not know where he is. He doesn't even get a single kill. So aTTaX successful on the retake, but it always is fairly difficult to deny the bomb plant, especially on the B site. So I can kind of understand why they just decided to play safe, play things passively, and just concede the bomb plants, because it doesn't really make a massive difference here. You can see Seed still can't buy up into this round. It's just going to help their money out a little bit. And of course, on the aTTaX side of things, playing safe is also fairly good for them, because they want to keep those rifles alive, and saving 4 players will help them build up that money. Hunden going for the spam, doesn't do any real damage. I think he might have tagged Spiddy down to 97 HP. But not too much, of course, in the grand scheme of things. We are going to see Seed yet again lean towards the B-bomb site, but this time they don't have anywhere near as much utility. Just the 1 flashbang to try and get themselves forwards. That will work to blind the first player, but there goes Tzian opening up. Still though, I think the bomb will be planted on the site. Just about Spiddy will get the bomb down. And so Seed will continue to build up that economy. Just Innocent left with the Fatigue. He might just get himself 1 free kill. But now they know exactly where he is, and the defuse is already coming through as we speak. So Innocent will be able to save a UMP. I don't know if he'll really want to keep that into this next round, considering they could afford to buy full rifles. But it looks like Innocent wants to just stick with the UMP and keep a bit of extra money in the bank. Somewhat surprising. However, I don't mind the decision too much. It's just the fact that you'd really want to be trying to win this round as soon as possible. Either way, here goes Searson peeking in towards A main. He's got the AWP in his hands, but he's not quite going to pull the trigger after spotting out the first opponent. Flash coming in towards Brown Halls. In the meantime, aTTaX again playing fairly aggressively. This time it's Hunden going in first. I do like the aggression from Hunden particularly. I would prefer him to have a second player behind to try and get the trade kill. But finding a 1-for-1 trade would certainly be not too bad from Hunden's perspective. I always thought that, in theory, if you wanted to have your in-game leader try and make the strat calls, if you just trade him 1-for-1 and he gets to see all his teammates' perspective, that would be a kind of cool concept. But it's obviously difficult to execute that every single round. So 50 seconds left, and Seed taking this first gun round incredibly slowly. Not wanting to make any mistakes like they did in that pistol round where their push got shut down. However, this time we haven't seen too much aggression from alternate aTTaX. As I say that though, Hunden gets 1 kill, and there is that even trade I was talking about. And in the meantime, Stefan wins another fight here, so it's all going in favour of the CT side. Zane has made his way towards the bomb site itself. And Stefan has allowed them to do so, but the information is still here for aTTaX. They allow the bomb to go down, And now we'll push forwards. Great flashbang allows them to open things up. And I don't think Stefan even realized all the kills had come through there because those 3 frags came in incredibly quickly. Seed again, this time, sure, they gained ground towards the bomb site, but aTTaX always were, it felt like, in control of that position. Even though they were playing for the retake, you saw the flash come over the top, they were more than ready to push forwards. And aTTaX starting off strong here on their CT side of train. And again, considering they had a fairly good T side the last time we saw them play here, if they can really start to build up this lead, then Seed could be in a lot of trouble. They themselves, though, off the back of the bomb plants, will get the buy together. Crystal, this time, even has an AWP for the T side of things. For what it's worth, one of the reasons why I was a bit surprised Seed are going here. Oh, the run boost gets Crystal that opening kill. Stefan couldn't quite react in time, trying to hold the angle, and so the AWP opens things up. It makes the difference that Seed were looking for. I was about to say, though, I was a bit surprised to see Seed play Train because I don't particularly think they have a great second AWPer on the team. Innocent spraying away, looking for the second frag, but he's running out of ammo, and so there comes the trade for aTTaX. They are still at a man disadvantage. aTTaX himself has decided to push out through B to gain some information here. So the timing is going to be everything. The bomb goes down towards A, and Zane is caught off guard. So we go back to a 3-on-3. And aTTaX still have every chance on this retake if they can find some quick kills. Unfortunately for them, though, Dennis already gets the first, and Crystal finds a second frag on the round to secure Seed their first on the board. Very important entry kill there for Crystal. Seemed to make a fairly big difference in that round, as it allowed Seed to make their way on towards A much more easily. However, Seed are not going to have an easy time of things off the back of the one-round win, because they now have to deal with the double AWPs coming out from aTTaX. Citizen's going to go for the peek towards upper B, but he did mess up the movement just a little bit there. So he's going to be slightly slower on the peak, and that means the molly's going to force him back. Taking a little bit of damage as the flames nip at his heels, only down to 75 HP though. In the meantime, again, Crystal was looking for the opening, this time with just a regular boost in towards T main. But that's not going to work out for the T side this time. Again, we're seeing Hunden take up some fairly aggressive positions. I really like this from Hunden. If he's not going to contribute as much in terms of fragging, then going for some sort of small aggressive plays and getting some information for his team is certainly still a very valuable thing for him to be doing, if he's not as confident in his fragging. "50 seconds left. And still Seed yet to make a decisive move in this round. Seems like they are now going to lean towards the B bomb site, but not only are there 2 players committed to B, but there also is the man from Alternate Attacks pushed up in towards Pop Dog. And that could be a quick rotate coming up for the flank if Seed aren't careful. Out comes the Incendiary, and Searson also has a full set of nades himself. With 20 seconds left here, this could become a real issue for Seed. They have to make their way forwards now, and they're going to have to get these entries fairly quickly towards the B bomb site. Flashes come over, and Titian is caught out in the open. Searson found the single frag, but the bomb will be planted on the site itself. Out comes the Incendiary, though, just forcing Seed out into the open. They had to commit to the site to allow the plant to come through, but now Seed in all kinds of trouble. They're just all stuck on the bomb site itself, and there's no cover for them to use. Ooh, Speedy flicks back around for that headshot. He's still got 2 more to find, though. And already Stefan shuts him down. Despite Seed's best efforts, despite taking the B bomb site, yet again, Alternate Attacks are successful on the B retake. And they will even save the double AWPs into this next round. Got to give props to Alternate Attacks early on here. They've looked really solid so far on their CT side. The double AWPs weren't particularly relied upon in the last round, but Citizen's AWPs certainly helped. And again, keeping the utility late into the round certainly helped them on towards the B site to retake. Smoke's coming over from Seed, and it looks like they will go for a standard A execute. Hunden is trying to play aggressive in the smokes. In fact, he's going to go for a bit of a spam there, but not quite connect. Hunden decides to back off. The bomb plant will not be allowed because Hunden shuts it down through the smoke. And so the Pistols are not going to get their main aim out of this round. They would have liked to get the bomb planted just to help their economy a little bit more. But it looks like Seed will not be allowed that, as they only find 2 kills out of the pistol buy. And they did invest fairly heavily into utility there. So Seed would have very much liked to get the bomb plant, because you can see now their money isn't as good as they would have hoped for in this upcoming buy. Sure, Seed will have a buy for themselves, but you can already see a couple of players forced down to slightly worse for wear weapons. So there's a little bit of utility lacking. And also the fact they don't have the AWP for Crystal here. Again, Searson peeking in towards upper B through the smoke, and he lands the shot, but not quite finding himself the kill on towards Dennis, who just about survives on 10 HP. I believe it went through the box there, which will keep Dennis safe. Looks like Dennis is priming himself to take the point on towards the B site. So I assume he will try and gather the information to allow the trade kills to come through, which isn't such a bad idea. And here we go, Dennis making his way forwards, looking for this first pick. Does huge damage on towards Searson, but not quite enough for the frag. But here comes Zetsafen. How is he here on the flank? The aggression is just going to shut down Seed entirely. It looks like, I think it was Spiddy there who was up in towards a ramp. I don't know how he let the player get past. But that pretty much has lost the round for Seed entirely. You'd have to check the replay to see if Spiddy there did make a mistake or if it was just bad timing. But it seemed like they were hoping that he would be covering off the flank. And you saw there, the C players were not expecting a player to be coming through a ramp whatsoever. So I think they were assuming someone was watching the flank. Otherwise, they would have heard those steps and turned around. I think they would have thought that's a teammate coming down behind them. Really unfortunate position for Seed there. And so, being 7-1 down, they decide it's time to finally take a timeout. Again, the admin's on point in making sure we get straight back underway. Only a 30-second timeout allowed. And we will head straight back into the action with Seed again only having pistols. And with how this game has gone so far, it's looked very, very convincing for alternate attacks. Most of the rounds, even when Seed have been able to get on towards the bomb site, it feels like attacks are still very much in the ascendancy. We've seen a couple of times attacks have allowed the push to come on towards A, they've allowed the push to come on towards B, but they always have a man advantage for the retake, and they're kind of forcing Seed to play positions where they can't really watch towards the bomb all that easily. We are again going to see attacks find a couple of easy entries. There goes Hunden with another frag. Fairly surprising to see Seed just kind of push one by one here, especially considering they had very little investment. You're never really going to be able to win those individual fights with just the Glocks. They might be able to get one here, though. The pushing towards ramp will work for Tizian. He gets himself 2 kills. And so alternate attacks don't even take any damage on the round win. Everyone survives on 100 points of health. Of course, Seed, after taking that previous timeout, would have been looking forwards to this gun round here. And let's see if this 10th round can be one where they finally put a stop to the winning streak of attacks, because they've already got 4 in a row on their CT side. We have yet again got Crystal with the AWP in his hands. In the meantime, Searson is just going to continue to peek in towards brown holes. They haven't really stopped Searson from going for this aggression with the AWP so far. So he's just going to continue to do so. Again, we see the run boost come out, but this time not quite a kill for Crystal. And the flash will force the CTs to play safe. Flashing through the Ivy smoke here. I'm surprised to see such aggression come out from the T side of things. It looks like it worked out for them. Dennis gets a kill for himself. Where are these frags coming from? Seed just explode on towards the A site. Stefan gets himself one kill back, but he's got a lot of angles to deal with. And he won't be able to spot out Zane, who finds himself a second kill on the round. So Searson now left in a 1-on-3, rotating back from B, and he's already shut out. Zane finds himself a triple kill to secure Seed their second round. And that looks like Seed just went for a much faster play there, pushing through the utility of alternate attacks. I don't know if that's something Seed can realistically rely upon for consistent round wins. But we'll have to see if that is the case, because attacks themselves, of course, still have plenty of money for the buy. Double AWPs again on this round. And this time we're not going to see Searson play over towards B. He's committed to the A bomb site itself. Just going to be Tizian solo holding the B site. Again, Seed with a little bit of presence out towards Ivy early on. Third time in a row we see the run boost. It's not going to get a kill this time. As yet, again, attacks are ready for it. They play things safe. Wouldn't be surprised to see Crystal get boosted up over that smoke. But it seems like that's not going to be the case. In the meantime, attacks have two players towards B, so they're going to play somewhat aggressively. And you can see Hunden himself taking the map away from Seed here, pushing in towards Pop Dog. Of course, you can get a lot of information if you hear steps in towards that position. And I think Hunden has certainly spotted out one opponent up at the top of the ladder. Again, Seed taking this round incredibly slowly, but the utility is now being used. Slowly but surely, looks like the push will come out, and Hunden gets spammed through. He's going to go down first on that aggression in towards ladder, and here comes the push out through Ivy. The A site is looking incredibly vulnerable. Stefan tries to find something with the AWP, but he already goes down. And so Seed just push together as a unit and overwhelm that A bomb site. As soon as Hunden goes down in that advanced position, you saw the rest of attacks not really being in the best of spots to hold for the push. So it looks likely that the majority German team will look to save from this position, because their money isn't actually as good as they may have hoped for. Hunden's calling for the tactical pause, but we are going to have to see whether or not they can save all of these three guns first. Remember as well, Stefan did lose the AWP and they weren't able to recover that, so it looks like only the one AWP will be saved. And here comes Innocent, he finds an exit kill, that's the AWP drop down! Ooh, they just about recover it at the end there. I don't know how to say ECFN's name. Sven? Manages to save the AWP at the end of the round. I was talking with someone I cast with sometimes about that yesterday. I think we settled on Etzfen or something, which is really not great, but you know, the best we could come up with. So it looks like they called for a tactical pause initially, but now going back to a technical issue as well. Again, we do need to take a quick look at the money on the attack side of things. They certainly have enough cash for the buy into this round. And still with an 8-3 lead on their CT side, I'm sure they will be feeling fairly good about the position they are in. But taking this tactical pause is still, of course, going to be valuable after losing a couple of rounds. Ekfana? Okay. I'm sure I'll get told off for my pronunciation, but we'll wait and see. So the unpause will indeed come through. Heading into round number 12, both teams up to the bye. Searson only with the 1-0 for the CT side. We've seen him peek in towards upper B sometimes, but this time he's going to play again on towards the A site. You know what, I just realised that word could mean anything, and it's probably a bad word, huh? Here comes the push from the CTs. Hinden does get that first kill. They go aggressive out towards Ivy, but look at the response from Seed. They're going to quickly hit the B site. Titian, the only man here, sprays the one man down, and he's going to try and play things safe. Titian gets a second kill, looking for the third. He finally gets shut down, but the damage is already done. Finding those 2 kills on the hold makes all the difference. Dennis will get the bomb down at the very least. Spiddy goes aggressive through the smoke, but he doesn't realise there's a man right behind him. And in the meantime, I believe Dennis went down to that incendiary on the site. So aTTaX will get themselves the defuse. They'll get themselves back those double AWPs. And more importantly, they will get another round on the board. To be fair to Seed, I think after they get pushed over towards Ivy, it's not such a bad decision to push quickly towards B. You saw there was only 1 player holding. It's just the fact that Titian managed to find 2 kills and also really slowed down the push that allowed the rotate to come back around. Whereas if Seed even gets an even trade there, they are in decent shape with the B site in their control. Either way, that was not the case, and it's not going to be the case here either, because Searson again gets that opening kill. When he's been taking those opening fights, he's been winning them for the most part with that AWP. So we see the spam going through, doesn't really do too much damage. I think Dennis may have taken a little bit through the wall there, but nothing really considerable. Again, you can see on the map, aTTaX are comfortable leaving Titian solo B, although just as I say that, Searson will rotate over. Of course, playing into connector, he can go quickly between the sites, but I'm surprised to see Dennis find that entry there. Stefan, again, struggling to hold in towards Ivy. That's going to force Searson to rotate over, but he just gets himself a free kill. Not sure what Dennis was trying there, running up by himself, and alternate aTTaX have managed to recover this round incredibly well. The counter nades seem to slow down the push. Seed weren't sure whether they wanted to go in. And Innocent is the one man left. Working out from Team Main, but Searson finds the angle on towards him. 3 kills for him with that AWP. And alternate aTTaX looking really strong right now. 10 rounds on the board. Again, Seed in a pretty awkward position in terms of their money. And as I was saying, I think it's really down to how Seed shows up here, because alternate aTTaX have been fairly consistent in their play so far. I think they've been consistently good, and we can see Seed not really giving us any reason to believe that they'll come back here. Stefan gets the opening kill, but there was a quick trade as his AWP gets dropped down. Again, Hinden playing aggressively on the trains finds 2 kills for himself as he gets that final headshot. So Seed, remember, of course, did save a little bit of extra money to make sure they have the buy in this last round of the first half. But all things considered, I'm sure aTTaX are more than happy with already getting 11 rounds on the board. And again, as I was saying, aTTaX looked really fairly solid on their T side the last time we saw them. I believe you, Crispy. I believe you. Push comes out. Innocent gets that first kill. I'm surprised to see Titian there continue to hold that angle. He had some support initially from Searson, but Searson was trying to reposition. So Innocent finds the first kill fairly easily. Here comes Searson, though, going for the re-peek. The timing wasn't quite there. In the meantime, the push comes out in towards Team Main. Spiddy is the man on the other side. The flash comes in. The CZ should get the kill, and indeed it will. That should be a rifle recovered. Doesn't quite pick it up just yet. In the meantime, Searson somehow comes out on top in that fight. Stefan gets himself a kill. We're seeing action all across the map right now, but it's gone in favor of Seed for the time being. They're up in a 3-on-2. Stefan holding this angle, gets the shot, but it's not going to find the kill. I think it might have just gone through the edge of a wall there. So the double AWPs have a lot to do now on the retake. Of course, the last round of the half, so they have to go for the round win. Stefan might just get himself a free kill. Dennis standing out in the open there. Wasn't fully aware of where the players could push from. And with the incendiary being thrown out and still more utility for aTTaX to use, there's a chance here they could find the defuse, but as I say that, Shbidi gets himself a kill. It is traded by Searson. 2 HP. Zane in the smoke surely is going to get this one. He's knifing. He's swinging himself. It should be the kill. Searson steps out of the smoke, lands the shot. There's not quite enough time for the defuse, though. I was going to say the time was always going to be an issue. I thought for a second there that he was going to just about get there in time, but a second too long. So Seed managed to get themselves 4 rounds in the first half. And heading into the second half, straight away aTTaX are going to buy themselves a lot of utility and go towards this B site. I think this is what we saw from them yesterday when they played on Train. And they will look to go for the B push again. However, this time Seed are more than ready for it. They themselves have 3 players committed to the B bomb site. Here come the nades over the top. Flashes coming through, and the push will come down a ramp. You can already see Shbidi, though, in a great position to peer over the top of the smokes. He gets himself 1 kill, and the spray through does huge damage from Crystal. The bomb still goes down, but you can see Seed already finding themselves the frags. The USP's coming out on top. As Crystal finds himself 2, that should secure the round. And Searson indeed has too many players to deal with. I'm fairly impressed to see that Seed there stacked towards the B site. It seems like they were quite aware of what aTTaX were likely to do. So alternate aTTaX, get the bomb plant, and I assume they would just go for the full eco here. That's generally what you see from most teams, especially as they already have a fairly big advantage. But they're going to decide to go for the force buy, and with a fair amount of utility, try and go for this A push. I don't mind the decision, especially if aTTaX can get the bomb plant often enough, then it is worthwhile, especially as they get the chance to win the round. But I'm not sure how often they can get the bomb planted because Zane already sprays 2 down. The FAMAS is going huge, and this round is already over. That was a full investment from alternate aTTaX, shut down before the push could come through. And Zane's aggression there was very important to making sure the bomb could not cross to the site. If he's not pushed up in towards Popdog there to drop the bomb down, it's likely aTTaX are going to get the bomb plant at the very least. However, instead it goes the other way, and Seed get themselves into a fairly good position because now they are just up against 5 Glocks, no investment from aTTaX. And that's the risk of going for the force buy. You can see their money not particularly impressive now. And we're already seeing Innocent push out through Ivy. Here come the Glocks though, and Crystal in trouble. I don't know why he's taking that fight there with the M4. He gives a rifle into the open arms of alternate aTTaX. They still don't have Kevlar to work with, and here comes the flank. The nade coming in, so much damage done. And it looks like Seed will just be able to push through from both sides. Still though, a couple of kills from alternate aTTaX. Not too terrible, all things considered. However, here we go. This is the round that aTTaX were waiting for. Back into the buy. Searson will get that AWP in his hands, alongside a smoke and a flash. The rest of the team should be good for AKs. Meanwhile, on the Seed side of things, Crystal himself has decided to buy up the AWP. And let's see if any of these AWPs can find an early pick. Or maybe if Spiddy can find an opening pick, because he's going to push aggressively out towards B. The spray coming in, aTTaX could be in trouble. He just about gets himself away on 30 HP. And I think Spiddy now has decided to play safe. No need to stick around and take that sort of risk. So after a little bit of action early into the round, we're going to see alternate attacks slow things down. I think something that is worth mentioning is that fairly often on these first gun rounds, you will see teams run a sort of strategy in terms of pushing towards a site where they will take things slowly and not want to throw away an advantage early on. So I think that is fairly predictable for quite a few teams. You don't really ever see them going for those fast plays on these sort of buys, because these rounds are of course so important. By the way, Zane does deploy the smoke, but still takes a fair bit of damage for his troubles. Crystal just gets a free kill as alternate attacks were trying to make their way forwards. They didn't have the smoke coverage in towards Connector, and so Crystal can still just rain down shots. Zane himself goes aggressive for a frag. Finally, Hunden finds the trade, but it's just not enough. Seed have the crossfire lined up. And alternate attacks now with 15 seconds left. They're going to have to make the decision as to whether or not they want to save. But of course, Searson here is not going to get any money for this save. This is going to put alternate attacks in a really awkward position. I think they should very much take a timeout right now, just to be able to talk about what they want to do for this round. Searson doesn't have any money, $50 after deciding to save. And it looks like aTTaX have made the call. They're going to go for the force buy. Hunden dropped an AK over to his teammate. He's not going to have Kevlar. He'll just stick with the Deagle. But it does allow aTTaX to have an AK himself. So good to see that aTTaX were very decisive with that call. That's what they needed to do. Just make a decision either way. And it looks like aTTaX are going to group up towards the B-bomb site at the start of the round. Flying in towards Brown Halls to start things off. Again, Crystal holding this angle in towards Pop Dog. If he hits that shot at any point in this game, I will be incredibly impressed. Either way, it's Dennis to open up through the flash. He gets himself a kill and doubles up with the second. You can already see Spiddy in position to help him out. The push is going to come forwards, but Dennis is more than ready for it. Finds a third frag. And Searson, with that aforementioned saved AWP, is not going to find too many opportunities. Sure, he gets the one kill, but his teammates weren't able to do any of that. So he's left in a 1-on-4. Searson going to try and save the AWP, but of course, Seed themselves have got a fair bit of money built up, so they will be hunting him down. Push going to come out. Searson needs this shot. He just about finds himself that frag. However, of course, that will give away his position. And here comes the push. It's Innocent who's going to walk in. One by one, Seed will make their way forwards. Oh, he just about dies before the time there, but still not the best of positions for Searson. Not able to save the AWP. And so alternate attacks will finally go back down to an eco. But Seed have already worked their way back into this game. So aTTaX with the utility, 5 smokes and a couple of flashbangs will go over the top. And they will attempt to get this bomb planted. The push has come out towards Ivy. That means that Innocent isn't in the best of positions. Oh, how does he spray down 2? Straight through the smoke, opens things up. And Zane himself plays aggressively to deny the bomb plant. Very well played by Seed there, realizing that aTTaX were mainly just trying to get the bomb down. and denying any opportunity of that happening. They did rely on a little bit of luck there. Innocent had to get some luck to find 2 kills through the smoke. But at the same time, it is a very sort of tight position. If you do spray down there, you're likely to get at least 1 kill or some damage done. So here we go, back into a bye. And all of a sudden, this game has become very competitive. An 11-10 scoreline. And here come alternate attacks going for some fast aggression in terms of their nades. Flash going over the top. And we're going to see them make their way out through T main. It's Hunden going for the entry. Oh, he has to get that kill there, but he whiffs the spray down. And here comes Innocent. The spray transfer finds himself too. And alternate attacks just can't find the entries on towards the site. It was looking so good for them. I thought that Hunden was going to find that first kill. And then they were going to make their way forwards. But as soon as he misses that initial frag, it goes horribly wrong. Searson has already got 2 kills here, flicking back and forth, and he nearly gets gifted the 3rd. Seed here. Need to stop taking these risks, because Searson could certainly still pull this off. Just as I say that, though, the timing not in his favour. Crystal overwhelms him with the pistol. And so Seed, after a fairly abysmal first half, have brought themselves back to an 11-11 scoreline. We are all tied up. And alternate attacks must be wondering how this has got so out of hand for them. Still yet to see attacks take a timeout recently, as far as I remember. Which is a little bit surprising, but they have gone straight back into the bye. And this time they're going to lean towards B to start things off. However, again, Seed fairly ready for this. They have 2 players towards the B site. One of them being Crystal with the AWP, who I would expect would be able to find 1 or 2 kills, unless the smoke coverage is very good. Ooh, nice smoke from Hunden there. That's going to go over towards A. In the meantime, though, Seed are playing fairly aggressively on the A site, so they don't have to rotate off. And that's allowing Crystal to stick around with the AWP. He only gets himself the 1 kill, though, before the smoke masks his vision in towards Connector. So the bomb will go down, and attacks look to even go further on the aggression, pushing all the way through. They're not happy with just the site itself. They're going to gain even more map control. And ECFN finds himself a 2nd kill. The aggression works out in his favour. And attacks finally get their first round together on their T side. The fake smoke towards A didn't particularly work out there from Hunden, but the rest of the team managed to find those entries. And specifically, I'm always going to struggle to say this name, ECFN, decided to push through there. That was a very sort of make or break play in the round. If he just pushes out and doesn't get a single kill, then attacks would have been in real trouble in terms of trying to hold the bomb. However, he makes sure there's no chance for the retake, and Searson gets an easy opening kill. Innocent almost seemed unaware that that was a possibility. Looked like he kind of overlooked the possibility of a player peeking so aggressively. And that's going to cost Seed early on. They're already down to a 4-on-5, and they already have to make some adaptations to only having 4 players for the rest of the round. You can see they are sticking with 3 players towards A for the time being. So Spiddy would have a lot of work to do if this push were to come on towards the B site. And with how passively Spiddy is playing over towards ramp, I don't think he's going to have that many opportunities to find frags here. The push is already coming out. Spiddy yet to spot any opponents. And Tizian himself finds that opening kill. Alternate attacks at this point, I think, have the round pretty much guaranteed. Retaking the B bomb site is not easy, especially with this much utility still left for alternate attacks to use. There's just no way Seed can make their way back in. So they will look to save what they can. And again, that kind of comes down to Innocent going down very early into the round there. Because you kind of saw as soon as he goes down, Seed have to make a decision to leave somewhere on the map weak. And they decide they're just going to leave 1 player towards B. And that means that Spiddy had to hope, really, that he was going to get good sort of positioning in terms of hoping that players were going to push out from upper. That didn't really come out in his favour. And it looks like Seed have even lost a couple of their guns at the end there. They only saved the 1 rifle. They should still be good for the buy, but certainly will impact their economy a little bit more. So here we go, back into another gun round. And Hunden there, looks like was thinking of some very early aggression out through team main, but he just decides to play safe. Oh, seaRSN whiffs that opening shot. I thought for sure he was going to get that opening kill. And again, Seed are facing this AWP a little bit unnecessarily. They really are risking giving up that opening pick, but this time seaRSN whiffs the shot. And Hunden himself might get the chance for the entry instead. See, Dennis, I think, is trying to catch the AWP off guard in towards team main. But he does just about decide to play safe in the nick of time. Zane lining up the nade. Jump nade goes in there, and I think that did a fair amount of damage to aTTaX. Pretty cool to see he has that one lined up. Even though it's a bit risky standing in the open, Zane himself finds the opening 2 kills out of nowhere, really. I didn't expect the push to come down towards PopDog like that, because the players from Team Main couldn't really assist. The smoke had already come down. And so alternate attacks with a little bit of a disjointed push. Only the players down ladder tried to make their way forwards. And so it looks like with 23 seconds left, this round is pretty much over. Bomb down, nothing to be done. And that's always the risk of trying to put the bomb down through PopDog. If there's a player holding, you both go down. The players from Team Main couldn't make their way forwards, and the round is over. aTTaX will get to save a few guns. It looks like Seed themselves, of course, are still on the brink in terms of their money, so they don't really want to hunt them down. So both teams just allow each other to save. And this game continues to be incredibly close. Hey, what's up, Zorlak? How you doing? So here we go, another gun round. We are getting to see continual gun rounds here in these very, very tight positions. And this is what you want to see. You want to see both teams on full buys as you head down to the late rounds. Here come aTTaX going for a faster play. The A execute is going to come through. The smokes over the top will allow them to gain some ground, but you can already see Seed themselves playing fairly aggressively in the midst of the smokes. Kills are coming through. Zane has gone aggressive, but aTTaX hears him. He gets himself the trade through. Back to a 3-on-3. The bomb plant attempt comes in, but Spiddy is somehow in the midst of the smoke, finding himself 2 kills. And that allows Seed to get themselves the round win and to yet again bring us back to an even scoreline. Throughout these recent rounds, these teams have not really been able to be separated. 13-13, and alternate aTTaX elect to take the timeout after that round goes fairly wrong for them. You saw there what they were trying to go for, the quick A play, but I don't think aTTaX were really expecting Seed to go so aggressive through the smokes there. You saw multiple players pushing through the smokes to try and deny aTTaX being able to push towards the bomb sites. And it was especially Spiddy who found those 2 kills that really made a massive difference. For what it's worth, Seed's A hold has looked fairly good so far as well. It seems like their B site has been somewhat lackluster when aTTaX have gone for a full execute there. But they've been able to shut down the push towards the A site fairly consistently. Either way, yet again, both teams still on a bye, but just look at how important this round is. The loser of this one might not have as much money as they would hope for into the upcoming round. Zane again has gone aggressive in towards PopDog. So far, aTTaX have not been able to shut that down. But you'd expect if Zane continued to play that position, they would be able to line up some nades to try and counter it off. Did the caster just say A-hole? I'm pretty sure I said A-hold, but if you want to hear that, then you can go ahead and I don't know why that just tickled me. Seconds, and there goes the first entry. Already the push comes out through Ivy. Innocent again struggling to hold that position. Hunden making his way forwards. There are plenty of players here, but ESEFN, finds himself a double spray down. And just like that, alternate attacks win the round so quickly. ECFN there, making his way out through Ivy, finds the 3 headshots incredibly quickly. And fairly surprising to see aTTaX just win that round so easily. And as we were saying, Seed really don't have the money to buy into this round. We were kind of building up to these final few rounds, but aTTaX managed to come out on top. And that there might be the deciding factor. That round win puts Seed back into a fairly difficult position. Looking at the Seed money, man, this is fairly tough. I think it's probably best for them to just go for a save into this one. The scoreline is fairly close, and if you do go for the save, you only need 2 rounds to take it to overtime. It's just the fact that if you go for the buy here, it's really going to be fairly weak. You can see a couple of players can invest. Spiddy will go for the CZ. And here we go, round 28. Surely aTTaX have to come out on top in this round. If aTTaX lose out here, that would be so devastating for them. I mean, they will still have a fair amount of money, but up against the Pistols, they just need to play things safe, wait to see if Seed go for any aggression. And Seed have gone for some aggression out in towards Ivy. Dennis is the man pushing his way through. This becomes a little bit dangerous here for alternate attacks, but they have responded quickly with an A play. And with the players pushing out through Ivy, they are not in position to hold off the A site. Ooh, Stefan nearly in trouble there, but he just about swings back around to take down Spiddy. And Searson himself rattles off the shots. 2 fairly standard kills there in towards T-Main. Again, a bit surprising to see Searson by himself here in towards T-Main. If he does go down, he loses the AWP. It's a little bit of a risk, but you saw him reposition himself well to not really be in too much danger. And so aTTaX make it work with that quick A push. Crystal going to push in, headshot takes him down, and alternate attacks will be up to map point. 2 map points, in fact, with the 15-13 lead. And as I was kind of saying earlier, I think that Seed didn't really have too much of a chance in that round, especially with the investment you saw. And even on Train, it is fairly difficult to get those pistols to work out, unless you do go for some aggression. And you saw they tried to go for the aggression out Ivy, but aTTaX just responded well. They just pushed on towards A. So here we go, a buy round for both teams. And Hunden yet again going to make his way in towards T-Main. Out comes the flash, but no push off the back of it. In the meantime, very surprising to see Crystal hold this angle here with the AWP. Generally this will be the other way round, but we see the push come down Pop Dog, and Zane this time does get caught off guard. Zane has been consistently trying to play aggressive in towards ladder, and this time he gets caught off guard. And in such a critical round, that is not what Seed would have been hoping to see to start things off. You can see again Spiddy is solo holding the B site. We've seen rounds similar to this in the past, where Seed lose that first opening pick and then they don't have enough presence towards B. And this time you can see Dennis will rotate over just in time, but Spiddy already overwhelmed. Dennis has so much to do. He gets the first kill. There's a second frag as he captures Tizian with a nade out. So we go back to a 3-on-3. Dennis going even further. He finds a third kill. Hello? Dennis is about to get a kill, maybe? Okay, I don't know what happened, but he lost the fight. We're back to a 2-on-2. The bomb is still out in the open, and so Seed can try and lock that down. Here comes Searson, pushing through aggressively. He doesn't realise Crystal only gets the tag. How does the AWP not find the frag there? Crystal going aggressive. Searson still trying to hold this off. This is so awkward, but in comes the kill. And so it's Stefan left in a 1v2. Bomb plant comes in. Seed just need to make sure they don't give him 2 one-on-one fights. Stefan peeking out, going for the taps, gets the spray down. It's Crystal who has to land the AWP shot. Stefan still spots him out. I think he got the information there. The push is coming in. Stefan is just dancing around the trains. He's getting all the information here. Stefan has played this so incredibly well. Crystal still has had no chance to even see his opponent. Now he gets the opportunity, but he misses the shot. And so Stefan holds his nerve to win the 1 versus 2. Very well played by him at the end there. Just not exposing himself, running down the clock. And pretty much forcing Seed to push towards him, forcing Crystal to almost panic push out into the open. And so alternate attacks will take down the first game of the day. They get themselves up to a 2 wins, 0 losses scoreline in their group now. Very well played by them. They just about managed to close things out. And considering that was the first game of the day, you're going to want to make sure to stick around for the rest of them. If they are anything like this one, certainly going to be incredibly entertaining. We've got Pride versus Nova switching over to Group A coming up next, so make sure to stick around for that. We will be back with the second game after the break.